Hello, everyone, and welcome to Side21, where we live play Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Hunter Grundman. I will be serving as the game master for our story this evening. This is our very first episode. We are incredibly excited to bring our little brand of adventuring to your screens. If you are here, thank you so much. You can say you were here first. The current miniseries we are going to be playing is called The Black Hand of Fate. It is going to be a more evil aligned kind of playthrough. These characters are going to be not necessarily the heroes and good guys you may be used to seeing. So for tonight, we do have a few players to introduce. And yeah, we'll start off with Mr. Jake.
I am Jaco, and I am playing Timber, a hunter ranger who turned phantom rogue.
Very nice.
I am Jason, and I'll be playing Shetic Bonecaller, a fey-touched human turned necromancer.
The name, though.
And hello, I am Aaron. I am playing Bojack Horse Puncher, a very angry dwarven barbarian.
Oh, God. My name's Hunter Douglas. I will be playing a Elliot Crowe, the reborn warlock, little edgelord.
Awesome. All right. So those will be our players this evening. If you don't get a chance to catch our live stream, we are all over the place. You can catch us on socials, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and of course, VODs here on Twitch as well. December the 8th, we are going to be taking a short break from the Black Hand of Fate and recording a kind of holiday-themed Christmas one-shot DM'd by our very own Hunter Douglas. So looking forward to seeing that. And other than that, yeah, you can find us streaming most Sunday evenings. This is going to be kind of our regular time slot. So turn on those notifications so you can see when we go live next. And I think that concludes all of our announcements and greetings and introductions.
Oh, yeah.
So without further ado, let's get started on the Black Hand of Fate.
Let's get it.
Ooh, spooky. Okay.
Our story begins in a torch-lit room with a well-worn tiled stone floor and stone walls draped with banners bearing the symbol of a black hand. Dark, ornately carved furniture covered in red fabrics can be seen against a few of the interior walls here in the space. A large, crackling brazier burns in one corner, and the smell of recently burned flesh lingers. There are no windows here underground beneath Hellgate Keep, and the lack of natural light might feel unsettling to some. Omvor, the Undying, waits. Staring into the flames of the brazier, his massive and appalling presence defiles the air around him and adds significantly to the stench of death in this place. His sickly white gray skin hangs loosely from his bones and sags off his body in putrid rolls. Omvor, the Undying, waits. He waits for those he has called to this place, those he will send forth to do the bidding of his lord. He looks up at the double doors that lead into this room, just as a crash, and they are thrust open. A gray tabaxi is the first to step into this room. And Jake, if you could briefly describe Timber for us, please.
I'm Timber the Second, and I have a rough coat. Look like I've been in the sewers for a little bit too long, in the gutters. And I joined this small little band just to get by, just to make a living. And I wear a dark coat, and my main weapon is a longbow that stands just 1 foot taller than me. I'm a short little man.
Shortly after this tabaxi walks in the room, a shadow crosses through the doorway, and it's odd because the shadow doesn't seem to be coming from any light source or any natural way that light and shadow move, and the shadow precedes the next person through the door. Hunter.
What you see before you is the one called Elliot Crowe. I am a drow man. I have this written down, hold on. Drow man, seemingly 30s, maybe 40s. A pale gray skin, cracked in some exposed areas with withered white hair. Eyes that are glazed over in a lilac hue. Wearing black and brown leathers with a black tattered half cloak, hood drawn. Stands tall, around 5'10", hunched over, so you can imagine I might be a little bit taller. Broad shoulders. And you may notice I look down at the ground quite often. Maybe not really knowing if it's like a self-esteem thing. Maybe Elliot is shy, or maybe he's just distracted. But yeah, just kind of walking in, kind of unbothered.
Unbothered, staring at something. Shortly thereafter, yet another of those called by their boss here walks through the door, and we see what looks like a dwarf walk through the door. Aaron, please describe Bojack Horsepuncher for us.
Aye, as he strides through the doorway, he puffs out his chest and takes a look around, and you see a beard that goes all the way to his waist, and bright red, flaming red hair, if he had any left on his scalp. Plenty of war paint all over on display, and you'll never know the look of him, but he's probably half the size of 2 of the weapons strapped to his back. And remarkable bulging muscles as he strides in and just goes, "Hey, what are the lot of you doing in here? We waiting for the boss."
As Bojack makes his way into the room, a final shape, another of those called, slowly makes his way at the back of this group. And Jason.
I am Shetic Bonecaller. Shetic was given, Bonecaller was earned. And you'll see Shetic walks in, not a tall man, very average height, slender, wearing smooth silk black robes, long dark hair, and ears that at first glance appear pointed, but as you get to look at them, you notice that he wasn't born with ears like this. They're scarred. Something happened at some point along the way in his travels, and he has a sense of death and dread that just surrounds him as he walks in any room. Anyone who doesn't know what to expect can just feel themselves filled with misery.
As this final unsettling shape of a humanoid creature walks in, the door is pulled shut behind you by your fellow brothers, those standing guard outside of Amvor's chambers here, this villa and this keep that has existed for 1,000 years at the tip of the high forest inland of Faerun. Amvor steps away from the brazier that he had been savoring the lingering odor from and makes his way back towards a large throne-like chair. And this chair is not because he is a king. It's a throne because he is 750 pounds. He moves back and addresses you all. Brothers of the Black Kind, gather close and listen well. After many years, the time has finally come for us to take back this realm and to eliminate the hope living in the hearts of those who dare to believe that they can defy the will of Bane. The city before us, High Moon, with its mythal-shrouded walls and inept guards, believes itself to be impenetrable, a bastion of hope and light. But we know better. We know that hope is but a fragile illusion, easily shattered by the iron fist of tyranny. You, my agents, are the instruments of Bane's will, and you have been chosen by our Lord himself to answer this call. Kind of takes a pause, and as you see him shift on the throne, these disgusting, just loose hanging rolls of skin kind of shift and make their way, like one falling over the arm of the chair from the position that he was in. He goes on to say, "You will infiltrate this city, sowing discord and chaos from within. You will find and acquire an ancient relic known as the Tablets of Fate. You will find the cracks in their Mythalian defenses and tear them open so that those who oppose us are no longer protected, so that those who oppose us are no longer hid behind their magical barrier. And so those that oppose us may know the true power of our Lord Bane. When the tablets are in your hands and the city's barrier has fallen, you will use this. And he reaches out and hands Timber, the first one in the room, a large scroll. It is in size bigger than any scroll that you have seen before. And he goes on to say to you, you will use this to open the way for our Lord Bane to step forth onto this plane, inscribe his name in its rightful place on the tablets, and deliver the vengeance that is to come. This spell contains a gate scroll linked to the Outer Realms. This gate will consume a diamond worth 10,000 gold pieces. We have located such a stone within High Moon, although as with the tablets of fate, we cannot pinpoint its location further. Our brother Nyx is already in the city. He has worked tirelessly for our Lord Bane to ensure you can enter the city successfully without alerting the Mythal. You will meet with him within the Coromantol forest just outside of High Moon, and he will provide you with the items you need to enter the city undetected. Do not seek him out. He will find you. Once you are within the city, you will be joined by one other, Brother Damian Grimbane, whose name was also put forth by our Lord Bane, and he has his own means into the city, but has been delayed. Remember, the power of Bane flows through you. Use it to bend the weak to your will, to crush those who stand in your way. Show no mercy, for mercy is the refuge of the weak. Show no hesitation, for hesitation is the seed of failure. However, as in all things, know that being caught or killed before the gate can be opened will not bode well for your souls in the beyond. As you move through these shadows, remember our creed. Fear is our weapon, and tyranny is our goal. Let this city tremble before the might of Bane. Let them know that their time of peace is over and the age of darkness has begun. Go now and bring the city to its knees for Bane, for tyranny, and for the Black Hand. As he finishes these final words, he almost negligently, as if an afterthought, kind of casts his hand behind him. You see a shimmering portal open in this room, and when you look through, you can see a dense forest within. And he gestures you through. He says, "Go now."
I'm gonna approach it, and I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna say, "Umvor, dear friend, for fear, for tyranny, for Bane," and I'm gonna take a step through the portal.
I walk forward and I say, Umvor, my lord, I don't mean to overstep, but how much is the payout for this kind of job?
There's always one.
Your payouts will be discussed upon completion. Do not disappoint our Lord.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. And then I jump through the portal.
Right, well, I'm my boss lad. I'm gonna head out and take care of the riffraff for you, sir. And I do one of these, like, hands over the chest salutes, and I jump through the portal.
Elliot kind of walks up to where Umvor is and kind of just, like, slowly looks up to him. looks back down towards the shadow and just walks through the portal.
As you look back down to your shadow, you notice it's got this like bone in its hand as you step through.
Whoa.
Another day at the office.
So one by one, through the portal. You all find yourselves within the Thor forest. Looking around you, you see wide, old growth. You see and you hear the sounds of woodland creatures, and as you look around, you see that it's evening here in the forest. The sun has set. Who of you have dark vision?
I do.
I do.
I do as well.
Surely the Tabaxi has dark vision.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, I guess I could specify I have devil's light. It's a little bit different.
As you all look around, you are able to see in this place the darkness is no stranger to the hearts and minds of those of you who make up this brotherhood. You recall that you were asked to wait, that Brother Nix would find you. So as the quiet, dark night finds you here in this deep, dense, wooded place, what would you like to do?
Is there only any like logs or like stumps or just like seat like affixers?
Make a perception check for the very first roll of the Black Hand of Fate, please.
14.
With a 14, as you assess your surroundings in this new place, you don't see any stumps. It doesn't look like any logging or any kind of, purposeful removal of wood has occurred in this space. You do see off about 15 feet to your left, there is a downed tree. So it's not a stump per se, but it's kind of split at the base. And there's plenty of foliage and fallen sticks and things like that, stones, moss covered logs and things of long dead trees.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a couple of steps over to that long strides over to that the fallen tree and just pop a squat and just kind of just space out to the ground.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna kind of stand near him, and I'm gonna look back at the rest of the party and I'm gonna say, those of you who wish for some form of protection, I suggest you stay close for about the next half an hour.
You daft. What you gonna be tougher than me? Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out a bead. I'm just gonna look back at him. I'm not even gonna respond. I'm gonna reach into my robes and I'm gonna pull out a small crystal bead, and I'm gonna start to ritually cast Leomin's tiny hut.
So you take the next 10 minutes. Describe what are your arcane items? What does the ritual look like?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of kneel down with this bead, and you're just gonna see me kind of put it up to my head, and then right back down. And I'm just kind of doing this it's literally it's 10 minutes to cast, but I'm doing it as a ritual, so I'm going to say 20. And I'm doing this for 20 minutes, and the whole time I'm just chanting, protect us. We will be protected. Protect us. And yeah, that's me for the next 20 minutes. I'm kneeled down. I'm probably about 3 feet from Elliot, and I Bojack and Timber, they've gotten my warning, and whether they choose to take it is up to them. They don't have long to get here. Well, I guess they have a while.
I scurry a little closer to Elliot and I say, "Oh, undead thing, sir, you're totally welcome to die on my behalf. So I will just hide back behind you guys if you don't mind." And I just duck behind them.
DM, I would actually like to make a perception check because I want to see if there's anywhere else I can hide my boots or if I should hang out with these lot.
Sure. Yeah, make a perception check.
I want to be looking for a place I can call Dwarf Home. That's not great. I got a 9.
With a 9, this looks like one of those places where you could walk for a mile and be back in the same spot that you started in. It is very repetitive in its appearance. It is a dense wooded area, and of course there are unique elements, in each kind of area that you look in, but there doesn't seem to be any clear area that would be necessarily like hidden from view of the surroundings, but what you guys do see is now that you've moved about 15 feet over, there was like a dense grove of trees kind of blocking it from your view where you initially entered the forest. But now that you've moved over to that fallen tree, those of you that have moved out of there can see a small kind of clearing, maybe another 30 to 40 feet to like your north if you had moved to the west. And you can see just barely that it looks like there are signs that at least at some point, you can't really tell how recent it is, but there was like a camp. You can see like the stones like that circle like an area where a fire pit would have been, and some kind of cleaner like logs and things like surrounding it.
Can I use my ranger abilities thoughts to see if I notice anything more so?
I will say, even with your keen, ranger senses, the forest being, home to many a ranger, this is something that, you would probably have some experience with. However, it's what you guys are seeing is kind of what you're seeing right now. There's a clearing off to the way there. You can't really discern anything about it other than it looks like a place where people have made camp in the past.
Right, buddy. I'll take you up on that offer. Don't want to be caught out alone in this stuff. And I'll go next to the group.
Shetic, were you?
What
were you
is
putting
the
thing that's, like,
duration?
around me too?
Yeah, I'm like 3 feet away. When it's done, I'll explain what is
Okay,
going on.
cool.
Yeah.
So as you all kind of gather around this downed tree, parts of it are still slick with moss and moisture, and you watch Shetic performing this act of faith, this ritualistic spell asking for protection. Anything that we would like to do while we wait? All right, Shetic. About 20 minutes has passed.
So as I take my bead and I lower it down, or I put it up to my forehead one last time, and then I look up and I hold it and I let go, and all of a sudden you see some ethereal light drop down, and in a 10-foot radius around us, it's almost like we're in a cave. An ethereal cave. You can still see the woods around us, And for the next 8 hours, this cave is going to be here. And the only ones that can pass in and out of this are those of us that are here now. Nothing can come in. And, well, if it's not already in here, it's not getting out. And spells of level 3 or lower can't be cast through it. So we have this, and I kind of look up and I explain. I say, now, you may leave, any of you, but nothing may enter that wasn't already here. We can go explore, and if you need refuge, just know your way back here. We have 8 hours. Nyx, hopefully, will be here sooner than that. And I'm gonna look up at the dwarf and I'm gonna say, You said there was a camp nearby. Have you gone to look at it yet?
Hey, nay, I just spotted her across the way.
Maybe worth looking at and seeing if there's anything there we can use. Food, water, weapons.
Can I do a little sneak scurry on over there just to see what I can find?
Yeah. Make a stealth check.
23.
Sheesh.
With a 23, you are silent. You navigate this forest floor that is strewn with things that make noise, leaves and sticks and places where you could slip and lose your balance. But no, not to Timber here. He glides through the space with the silence of a mouse or something even smaller. And as you make your way, about 40 feet to where the evidence of a camp has been made, it looks as like it hasn't been used in quite some time. You don't see any. There's no like bags or leftover, human like signs, other than like the rock circle that makes up, and you can see like the dark ash that exists in the space where the rocks surround, and yeah, there's some logs surrounding it, but it seems to be just like people that took advantage of this break in the denseness of the forest. There's a path that cuts through, but beyond that it's very thick, so it looks like somebody found an area that was open a little bit and just kind of made camp here at some point. It's hard to tell how long it's been, but nothing looks recent. It's all long cold.
So is there any way I can like look at the ground and see which way the tracks were heading, or are the tracks like gone by this point?
Make a survival check.
That's going to be a 16.
With a 16, you see a lot of tracks. Not that look human, though. You see, cloven hooved tracks and things that look like maybe they're like the paw of something like a bear. But nothing that looks human foot shaped.
Okay, well, I'll just head back to the group to tell them my findings.
As you head back, when you left, you could see outside. When you come back, all you see is where there was just a log at one point. Now it just looks like a tomb, and you can't see inside. You can't see any of us.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to be sneaky, so I pick up a rock and I just throw it at it, because I don't know what this thing is, so I just throw it at the tomb.
It hits a wall.
Well, I guess I'm on my own. I just walk over closer to it and I start pushing to see if I can get through.
As soon as you put your hand on it, your hand passes through.
Oh, okay. So I walk in and I say, well, I went and checked out the camp, found nothing, got nothing.
No loot whatsoever.
Nothing but dried leaves, I'd say. So, anyone else got any ideas?
Again, we were told Nyx will find us. We weren't told to walk anywhere. We know the city we need to be going to, but I'm not a navigator. I don't know which direction to go. Does anybody else have an idea from where we are? Because I look around and I can't tell left from right.
I'm all right finding my way, but I'm better at scavenging off the land.
Well, there's a trail that passes through this campsite, so maybe someone would come along on that trail. Maybe they'll have some loot that we can nab off of them if the feeling takes us, you know?
Certainly, if you want some loot, that's one way to obtain it. Let's see.
We can wait anywhere.
If we must wait for Brother Nyx, we might as well wait in style.
All right, so you guys all elect to stay in the tiny hut until Brother Nyx arrives. Anybody else looking to do anything during that time?
Do I know what Brother Nyx looks like? Have I met him before?
Make a history check.
Ooh, first roll, and it's a 21.
A 21.
It's Bane.
Yeah, you don't know Nyx per se, but you have, kind of been aware of his passing in Hellgate Keep at some previous point before he was assigned to what he's doing now. And you would know that Brother Nyx is kind of a bald, roguish kind of type individual, human man.
I look at the cat behind me, and I say, "Tabaxi, what's your name?"
I am Timber the Second, name given to me by my father before he was murdered, cold-blooded, trying to provide for me.
Oh, it's a shame to let the blood go cold.
I will not let them go another day for what they've done.
Timber, I admire your desire to gain your treasures, but I'll tell you, if you see a bald man walking through, don't rob him until after he gets us where we need to go.
I don't really know who put you in charge, I would say, but I will try. How about that?
I said, that's fine. And then I'm gonna telepathically whisper to you and say, "You're not good enough."
I mean, if it's a contest of strength, I'm sure I could best any one of ye.
And that "you're not good enough" was for sure an intimidation attempt.
I don't even understand what the mind thing was. I was like, that was strange. But I didn't even realize it was you.
Father?
Father?
As you all sit here in this hut and chit chat in the way that nefarious individuals might do with one another, an hour passes. No sign of Nyx. Two hours pass. No sign of Nyx.
All right, well, I need to go stretch my legs. And at this point, I'm going to go walk out and just do like a little perimeter check. Got to keep an eye on the prize.
Make a perception check.
Come on.
I'll say during this time you see Elliot just
That's a nat 1 for a 6.
Okay.
oof. Just
I'm
sitting
gonna
there.
have to get physical dice next time.
Oh yeah, right. I was just gonna say you'll see Elliot just kind of sitting here during the 2 hours, like eerily still, just almost staring off in the exact same space the entire time.
Yet the shadow moves. About 2 more hours pass. No sign of Nyx. Bojack, your natural one. It looked exactly the same as it did when you walked in here.
Can I go out stealthily, make a perception, and see if I see anything happening out there?
Sure.
Well, if I don't see nothing, I'm at least a practice my aim, and I'm gonna take a hand axe and just find a solid looking tree and just go whoop and start whipping my hand axe into a tree like for practice.
Got it.
I rolled a 22.
On perception?
Yeah.
It would take almost anything besides a natural one to notice how incredibly cold it has gotten since you came into this place. The temperature felt more, and you didn't notice because inside the hut is a comfortable environment that doesn't change in temperature. But when you've walked outside now here in the space, and you see Bojack's kind of like shivering, and he's like not even perceiving that it's cold, but it is. And those of you on the inside of the hut still, although you can kind of see through it, you're starting to see like little ice crystals form on the barrier that makes this hut. They're not making their way in, but they are forming on the outside. Other than that, you don't see anything.
Well, it's getting quite cold outside. We might not be able to stick around here for much longer. The 8 hours is going to be up soon.
Was there leftover wood at that camp spot that you checked out?
Oh, well, we're in a forest. So
Well, that's true. Do you have a means of cutting down a full tree for us?
we have a dwarf.
I hate trees.
Of
I'll
course.
kill every tree.
Bojack tree puncher.
Well, I don't see you killing trees.
I take my great axe and I go murder a tree.
Oh, hell yeah.
Make a strength check.
I'll hit a fucking tree.
That was a saving throw. Wrong button. Oh, and that was such a good one. That one again.
You go to swing your hand axe into this tree, and unbeknownst to you, you hit this one spot on this tree that's this old gnarly knot and the tree you picked was not ideal. It was huge, and you went and you swung, and when you hit this gnarly ass knot, it was so hard and it had such a pushback on the blade of your axe that the blade and head of your hand axe came separated from the handle, and they're in 2 pieces.
Well done, noble dwarf.
Oh,
Ah,
there's a dwarf in our party. We'll have a fire in no time.
He just throws the 2 pieces away and just kind of like he like reaches into that barbarian rage and just goes, and he's just gonna try to rip this tree out of the ground now.
Are you raging?
Yes, he's gonna rage for it.
Make a strength check with advantage.
Like he's so mad right now.
Holy
As
shit.
you guys you see him break his hand axe, and then he just like fists to the air, like screams into the sky.
It's one of those like, ah! And I get a 23.
With a 23, it doesn't pull like immediately. It's not like you just ripped it out of the ground, but you guys, those of you that are in earshot of him ripping at this tree, you begin to hear as the roots and things begin either snapping or pulling past the rocks and the soil that they're embedded in, as you watch Bojack Horsepuncher rip this massive tree right out of the ground.
And then I just throw it and I go, "There's your damn tree."
I'd say this is probably one of the first times that Elliot actually like looks up and like shows any acknowledgement to like any just.
Oh,
I'm
well
ju-
done, dwarf. Well done. You even made the dead man excited.
I'm just standing there huffing like.
That was pretty cool. Can you always do that?
Most times, yeah. When need be.
Oh, don't make him mad. Okay, well, we had a tree already down where I put my hut, but now we got two. That's cool.
One's the sitting tree, one's the burning tree.
I'm gonna take out a dagger, and at the very least, the tree that he just ripped out, because he said that, and out of respect for him, I'm just gonna take my dagger and just start like peeling kindling off the burning tree.
So that is outside of the hut. Or have you guys moved out of the hut
Yeah,
at this
that-
point?
Yeah, we're outside of the hut.
Okay, yeah. So you guys begin to collectively, you two anyway, prepare this massive green wet tree for burning.
Yeah, I guess how dry is the other
That's-
tree?
Yeah,
I guess
that's what I was just
I assumed a dead one, I guess. I don't know why.
Yeah, we should burn. I'm a ranger, and we should burn the dead one.
Good advice, Ranger.
If your smarty pants says so.
So a lot of this area is like damp. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's got the telltale kind of dewy moisture that exists in places that have a lot of trees. And you would imagine, based actually make a nature check.
That's one. Look out. 18.
With an 18, looking around, sensing the moisture both in the air, the humidity, and you definitely think this area gets quite a bit of rain and is possibly near a water source of some kind.
So is the dead tree that we've been sitting on like predominantly dry, or is it pretty wet as well?
On that same nature check, it looks like it is dry for the most part. There are parts of it where there's like moss and things like growing and like mold and like some of those chicken of the woods like style mushrooms that come up in like the petals almost. In those places there's moisture, but it looks like for the most part this is a dry piece of wood.
And again, I'm gonna take my dagger and just start slicing off thin strips.
Shh. Shh. It is now for all of you, even the dwarf who is, even though you had this rage and this great exertion of strength to pull out this tree, it is freezing. You worry for the temperature.
So I rush over and try to help him start this fire really quick.
As he does that, I'm gonna shout out as well. I suggest the rest of you help get some wood on this as well.
All
right.
right. Sorry,
So you guys kind of drag the dead tree over to the campsite and begin preparing kindling and wood. What are the rest of you doing? Are we all kind of looking for wood? What is Elliot Crowe doing right now?
I'd say I'm just kind of like blank staring at like down at the ground and like and also just like shaving off like pieces of this like dead tree in like drier areas, maybe using a little like shocking grasp here and there to kind of just like start to dry it out in places and then just shave it off and kind of just like set it behind me, keep doing it over and over.
Can all hear like intermittent little crackles of electricity as this magical energy comes from Elliot as he's drying these wetter parts of the wood. Cool. Yeah, you guys have been able to get a fair amount of dry kindling and some larger pieces. Looks like you could probably get a pretty decent fire going.
I'll reach my backpack and pull out a tinderbox and just start striking it. Put it back and just sit back and just space out.
Everybody make a nature or survival check, please.
And we'll do
I'll make you a survival.
6. I'm
12.
spaced out.
17.
I got a 21.
With a 21, you would guess that you kind of can see there's in this clearing, you're getting a better look now at the sky, and you can see the stars, and you get the sense now that it's you probably got into the forest around like maybe 8 or 9 p.m. and it's now like you would think around 2 a.m. in the morning. And as you're standing there kind of looking at the stars and thinking to yourself about what time it probably is, because you guys were in this underground space, you didn't see the sun much, and you traveled through a portal. Time is not exactly apparent in the space, but you realize it's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. And as you're doing this, you hear just off to the right side a couple of branches both kind of break at the same time.
I duck down behind some rubbish and a log and just start hiding.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, boys, be on the alert. Something coming out there.
Another minute or so passes, and you're now creating light in the space. The fire is illuminating, casting shadows of trees, and only one shadow in the space doesn't seem affected by it. It's the damnedest thing. And if you were to look at Elliot's shadow right now, you would see it kind of miming, like it's like whittling a piece of wood, like creating like kindling. But as this is happening, the light hits his bald forehead first, and a gentleman, he's got kind of like a black cloak on, but you can see beneath he's got these this light leather armor that's got leather straps kind of crisscrossing across his chest, and you can see like on these straps that he's got like tiny little bottles that looks like of different, like some are red, some are green liquids, others have like little what looks like to be some sort of herb or something. And he kind of steps into this space and sees the fire, and he's, for the Black Hand.
For fear.
For tyranny.
He steps into the light, and you see Brother Nix. He says, I assume you're the lot envoy sent.
And you must be Nyx.
Aye. Glad you stayed in one spot. You were relatively easy to find. We have much to speak about. Let's sit down.
All right, I'm gonna go take a seat on the sitting tree.
Yep. Let's.
You see Nyx is shivering as he approaches this fire. He kind of draws his cloak closer around him. It's a strange night in the forest tonight. It's a little early in the season for it to be this cold. Anyway, it's my lot in this to get you all into the city. I'm assuming you've learned of the Mythal.
Indeed, we have.
Everybody make a history check.
What is my fault?
By the way, I'm still hiding.
Got it.
That's a 9 for me.
I got a 14.
I got a 13.
6.
Nice.
I would say that none of you have ever heard this word before. He's gonna say Mythal is a magical barrier that protects High Moon. you'll need one of these. And he tosses you each one of these. I'm going to post a link for you guys. Give me just a second. It'll be in the party chat. And as he kind of throws these things out to you, you see these. They look like almost like a badge. Each one of them appears to be slightly unique, and they give off just a faint, ever so subtle kind of magical energy to them. He says, these are World Weaver patches. We have taken great lengths to have these made for you. They're individual to you, cannot be used by anyone else, and you will require them to enter and exit the city of High Moon. Any attempt to enter or exit the city of High Moon without this in your possession would be very bad. While you may not know much of the city, but it was essentially designed to protect this relic that you are after. The city guard are elite fighters, barbarians, people who can do you harm, and in numbers. You have several tasks before you, and it is my job to do my best to prepare you for them as best I can before I take you back to the city. There is a complex magical protection system as well around these tablets. You will be able to find them in plain view on a pedestal under a glass dome structure right in the market district. Getting them out of that space, however, will prove extremely difficult. The way in which you will do this, I do not know. You will have to suss out whatever magical protections are keeping the tablets of fate secured and eliminate them. You also need a 10,000 gold piece diamond.
I don't
You will find
suppose
such
you
a
have one of those.
Not on me, my friend. My job has been to keep as low a profile as possible in this city so I could achieve having these badges made for you. It is my sole purpose of being here. However, I know of such a stone in the city. You will find it in the Museum of Antiquity. This is in the Sapphire Ward, and you may look for it there. Removing the tablets of fate, disabling any of their security, or bringing the Mythal down will immediately draw attention. The diamond, however, you may be able to get ahead of time, and if you're sneaky enough, be able to assess your next steps afterward. I would highly recommend starting with the diamond. The Mythal is also magically powered. Mythals are ancient magic. The god Mytharine Sereth developed these, gave this power to mages under his wing, and the technology is extremely rare. It is a type of magic that is rarely seen in this realm anymore. I do not know how you will bring it down. That is something you will have to figure out yourself. When the Mythal falls, the city will be plunged into chaos. It will alert and alarm every guard, every person who is in charge of maintaining these things immediately. I suspect similar things will happen when you disable the magic protecting the tablets of fate. Now, about a mile to the southeast of here, we will travel, and I will show you my tunnel into the city. However, I gotta take a quick piss first. He walks over to, stands up and kind of walks over to the edge of the camp. And you guys kind of watch him move away, and he kind of steps off behind a tree as you guys get ready, prepare to leave.
You might as well piss this fire out.
Just like kind of stand up, looming, broad shouldered.
Ah, the smell of burning piss. Not one to remember.
You see the shadow pissing on the fire.
And actually, I'm just using Douse Light to, my cantrip Douse Light to the fire.
Perfect. As the fire extinguishes and you see the smoke raise into the air, you all hear "Ah!" as a shriek shatters the silence that had been in the forest here with you. And you see, just as Brother Nyx emerges from behind the tree and begins to turn around and he's facing you, a long, curved scythe emerges out of his chest, as covered in blood, as gore is sprayed out in front of him. And you just hear, and he, in his dying breath, spins around and slashes across into the darkness with his dagger. You can hear it make contact with flesh of some kind here. And he falls to his knees. And then
no, Nyx.
onto his face as blood pools from his chest. And now that he's on the ground, you see standing behind him a tall, reaper-looking wraith. And she's staring down at you. And on either side of her are these soulless, hooded creatures that have hollow eyes, and they're looking out at you. And you can see across the throat of this banshee a huge gash where Brother Nyx was able to make the first wound. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Dun, dun,
Get
dun.
into it quick.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, great.
I'm going to look down at my shadow right now in the presence of these like robed scythe-bearing wraiths. Is it doing anything in particular? Or just kind of being a shadow right now?
It is, you can see it. It looks like it's almost in like a ready kind of stance.
I just kind of mimic its.
Man,
And, got a 13 on mine.
Awesome. Give me 1 second, please.
so I stayed hiding. Have they spotted me?
Make a stealth check.
That'd be a 26.
No one has seen you.
Sweet.
I even forgot you existed.
Thankfully.
All right. So you can see now there's this magical aura surrounding this this Reaper-looking creature.
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark and old.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Okay, Bojack.
I got to 25.
Shit. Timber.
I got a 12.
Shetic.
13.
Elliot.
21.
Shetic, what's your dexterity, please?
13.
Sorry, give me 1 second, everyone.
Can I be placed like more in the bushes?
Yes.
Sweet. Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Just
And
a
if
little
the three
guy.
of you want to adjust like minors, you can. All right. Okay. Bojack, you see this Grim Reaper-esque female banshee-looking thing surrounded in this aura of what looks like icy blue magic. You see these two haunting, robed, magic-eyed figures behind her. What would you like to do?
Ah, well, you can't kill one of our own without suffering for it. So, I've got a multi-step process. First, I would like to rage.
Absolutely. You rage.
And then with that, one of the traits of a barbarian is I have called, I want to make sure, instinctive pounce. As a bonus action, when I rage, I can move up to half my speed.
Okay. Yeah. Without using your regular movement.
Yep.
Okay.
That is 20 feet, so he's just gonna leap right here next to him. If I
All right.
collect my guy and move him properly. Thank you.
I got tokens.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, you are right up in him. I will say, as you approach this creature, this feeling, and you're moving out of the fire and closer to him, you are getting very cold. The rage, it's hard to notice, I think.
And as a side note, since I am a Path of the World tree barbarian, I gain 8 temp HP when I rage.
Beautiful.
And how dare you kill our boy? And I'm just gonna reckless attack the main person.
Absolutely. So go ahead and roll to hit. What weapon are we looking at here?
I'm using my fancy great axe. It was gifted by someone in the Black Hand.
So you guys see just Bojack just like scream, leap over right next to where this banshee is, and like draw this
Just
massive fucking this anime size great axe out.
And it's a 24 to hit.
A 24 absolutely hits as your axe finds the flesh of this creature.
I'll just roll damage. And that'll be 16 damage.
16.
And then
Got
I'll
it.
just keep the assault. Second attack is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
For 14 damage.
Got it.
And,
What else, Bojack?
And then, with my weapon mastery, I would like, with the second attack, to use Cleave. When I
All right.
hit a creature with the great axe, I can make another melee attack with it against a second creature within 5 feet. I'm looking at that little blagger up above me.
All right.
And I
This
get-
one.
Yep, absolutely. I'm going to get one more to hit.
Oh crap! I didn't even see them.
That is a 25 to hit.
25 hits. Jesus Christ.
You're hitting.
And then it takes the damage without the ability modifier. So I'm just
Okay.
going to roll my d12 and then just take away 5. So I got 3 damage. Not
Alrighty.
much, but every bit counts.
Absolutely. What else would you like to do, my dwarven friend?
And then that'll be my turn. I'll just stand there screaming at them. How dare you kill our guy? No one messes with the Black Hand.
All right, yeah. That is going to bring up this one. He is going to move 1 space over and turn to you, Bojack. And I need you to make as it stares into your eyes, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution saving throw. Bang. I got to 13.
13 was the DC. He is giving you this terrifying fucking gaze. The look in his eye is almost shaking you to your fucking core. However, you saved, so you're only going to take half damage from his death gaze. So that is 11 points of psychic damage.
Check. Ah, but the flesh wound.
And then he's going to take a second attack against you with his fist.
He's got a fist.
That is going to be 17 to hit.
It just strikes me.
And the fist is going to do 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Which wouldn't I reduce that?
So 3 for you for raging. And it also is going to do 5 points necrotic.
All right.
That is going to end. Little funny, Bojack's turn. Elliot.
So Elliot will. Is this fire still like mostly out?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say we're in dim or dark light? Probably not darkness, but dim.
It's dark. I mean, it's dark. Yeah, you put the fire out. You've got a little moonlight, a little starlight, but it's pretty fucking dark.
Okay, cool. Good to know. I'm just gonna take a couple steps back. Maybe like right over here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at let's do the main Wraith Lady right here.
Absolutely. Blast away, my friend.
I'm gonna also do my Eldritch Invocation Agonizing Blast. That's just if I hit. That's not a hit. That is a. Excuse me. That's I've never seen it read the dice wrong. First of all, it's so cocked, but it's clearly on 14. It read it as 4, so that's an 11 to hit. I mean, go by the numbers.
11 does not hit.
Okay. And then bonus action.
Yeah, and I guess just going forward, we'll make it, if that ever happens to anybody, just whatever D&D Beyond says was the roll will be the roll.
Okay.
That's what's in the logbook.
That makes sense. And then. Okay, cool. I'll say. I will, as a bonus action, cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Yeah.
Protective Magical Frost surrounds you. Gain 5 temporary hit points for creature. Okay, so I'm doing it 5, so it's.
And then any creature that hits you takes like 2d4 cold.
Yeah, so I guess this might be the revamped one for 2024. You gain 5 temporary hit points, and then temporary hit points and the cold damage both go up 5 for each spell slot used above 1. So it's 20 because I only have 4th level spell slots. So I get 20 temp points. That's valid. And then if a creature hits you with a melee attack roll before the spell ends, which is an hour. The creature takes 20 cold damage. The spell ends early if you have no temporary hit points.
All right, sounds good.
So you just see like the shadow kind of just like and like kind of just like creep up my body, and just it gives off this like almost like cold vapor off of my like armor.
Adding to the already frosty evening, you see this ice shell kind of form around Elliot. Anything else for you, my friend?
That's it.
All right, that is going to bring up this guy right in front, the one that was accosted by Bojack. So he is going to take a... he's going to use his... Let's see. Withering gaze. He's going to kind of look over the head of Bojack here, and looking over at you, Shetic. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Whoa.
Indeed.
21.
Whoa! 21 saves, so you'll only take half here, which will be... Uh, 11 necrotic.
Ow.
And with his second, he's gonna swing on you, Bojack, with his fist. That is going to be a natural fucking 20 to hit.
Oh,
Dang.
no.
I need more dice. Okay, so that
Uh-oh.
is going to be
You can use less.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Would I half that, or is that halved?
You're halved. No,
Okay.
no, that wasn't halved. You have it. Yep.
Okay.
Is that
And
a short
then-
What's up, man?
13 necrotic.
13.
Yeah, and you guys see each one of these Bodak fists that can connects with Bojack leaves behind like this like nasty green like magical like as they pull their fists back away. That is going to end his turn, however, and bring up our Banshee. She is going to look around, and actually, Bojack, I need you to take, because you are starting within this like aura of like cold energy that's around her. You are going to take 2 points of cold damage. And she is just gonna kind of, let's see, you guys. She is gonna glide into this space and look at you, Shetic. If you'd like to make an opportunity attack, Bojack, you
I would
can do
love
that.
to. No one runs away from me. 18?
18 is going to hit.
11 damage.
11 damage. Perfect.
Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot about heaven weapon mastery. Add an extra 3 to that from my heavy modifier.
Got it. Yeah, as you guys see this this Reaper move out of his space, you see just Bojack take this wide, long swing with the axe and catch her kind of in the back as she moves away. But she's going to move up here into this space with you, leaving Bojack to the Bodaks. And she's going to make a multi-attack against you here, Shetic. First one with the scythe. This is going to be a very bad roll, 9 to hit.
Thank God that misses.
And see like the frustration kind of form on this like skeletal zombie face as she just kind of takes in this deep breath, and you see her exhale this icy wind, like this chill touched breath out of her. And that one, however, is going to take
Ruh-roh.
6 points of cold damage, and your speed is going to be decreased by 10 feet until the start of the Banshee's next turn.
Okay.
You're very lucky that scythe missed. That is going to end her turn, however, and now you are up, Shetic. And you have to take cold damage.
Yeah, burr.
3 points of cold damage for you.
Okay. Well, this changes things a little. Huh. I was not expecting to have someone all up in my grill. So.
Combat plus.
Yeah, you know. This is part of that 2024 handbook. Fuck, man. Shetic kind of looks at himself like he hates having people just in his face. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cast. I'm gonna use Misty Step as a feat from being Fey touched.
Okay.
And I am going to teleport the fuck out of this little cold zone here. And let's see. Where are you, Elliot? Am I missing you?
I'm a little bit to the left of the fire.
Oh, and then Timber's hidden, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna teleport over here on the other side of the fire, just away, like. Yep. That'll be my action, and
since you are a necromancer, what does your Misty Step look like?
You see me just sink into the ground, and where I'm appearing up, you kind of see like a arm reach up, and then another one, and the ground just open up, and then you see the arms holding the ground open as I appear above it.
Hell yeah. What else for you?
That is going to be it since that was a leveled spell.
That's gonna be it?
Yes.
Okay. That is gonna bring up Timba.
All right, I'm gonna use my hunter's mark on the main girl here. That's my bonus action. And then I am going to sneak attack shoot with my longbow.
All right. Let's go.
Which is going to be, a nat 1, 11.
With a natural 1, it definitely misses. It goes wide and back into the woods behind it. What else for you?
Great. So I'm just going to use my second action to hide.
All right, make a stealth check.
That's a nat 20 for 30.
Okay, you are hidden. The rest of your party doesn't know where you're at. Anything else for you?
That's it.
Bojack.
Well, your boss ran from me, but you're all mine. And I'm just going to start attacking the two daft idiots in front of me.
All right, which one are you swinging on?
The one directly in front on the...
Got it.
Which is the ping tool? Why am I...
You just hold down your mouse.
I
Like
forgot.
long click.
That one.
Yeah.
And then I will use Reckless Attack to gain advantage on attacks this turn.
Okay.
Probably didn't need it, but
And
I'm
then
fishing
attacks
for crit.
against you have advantage, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I get a 27 on my first hit.
That fucking hits.
14 total damage.
Sheesh. All right. What else for you?
And then strike number 2.
Same target?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's a 25 to hit.
25 hits. Are you rolling
damage.
insane, or is your It's a plus to hit, just crazy.
My plus to hit is ridiculous.
Got it.
It's I believe I have a plus. I'm double checking. Yeah, I have a plus 8 to hit with this weapon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these
That's
were
crazy.
low rolls.
Everything just got a +8 to AC.
And that's 14 more damage to this one.
Got it. He's looking a little rough.
And then I would like to cleave the one to his right.
Okay.
And then I still get advantage on that because it's still an attack roll. 18 to hit.
Hits.
And he takes 8 damage.
Got it. All right. You guys just see this crazy dwarf that you just watched rip a tree out of the ground, just swinging this enormous, comically large great axe into these disgusting creatures. Anything else, Bojack?
And that is my turn.
All right. That's going to bring up this one. He is going to move down, not leaving your space, but just kind of surrounding you here. And he is going to... what type of damage were you doing, by the way?
Let me make sure. Slashing. And it
All right.
is technically a magic weapon, if that matters.
It does. Perfect. Okay. He is going to look in your eyes, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Got to 14.
14 saves. This guy's got con.
I have 3 stats, and that's it.
All right. Sorry, I'm getting my dice confused here. All right, so you're just taking half. That is going to be really high. So you're going to take 13 points of psychic damage.
You
then
little buggers.
Then he swings with the fist as well. You're looking at a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And that'll be just 3 points of bludgeoning. You can call it 1.
Okay.
And 9 necrotic.
Oof.
That will end his turn. Elliot, you are up.
How you looking, Bojack?
I've been better.
So Elliot Crowe, you said this guy over here is looking roughish.
Yeah, he's starting to look rough.
Okay, so I think Elliot would probably just take a few lunging steps up to maybe about like here in front of Shetic.
Yep. Between Shetic and the dead body of Brother Nix.
I'm gonna reach down and pick his pocket. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do an Eldritch Blast to the rough-looking brother.
All right, roll it. He started blasting.
And then I started blasting. Oh no. Oh yes. That will be a 11 again.
11 does not hit.
Yeah, so it just goes wide off into the forest, and I'm just gonna like draw my knife from my side and just hold it up in front of me.
Bojack, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oof.
Dexterity saving throw. Cool. And I have advantage on this.
That's good.
It's a 23.
Yeah, the Eldritch Blast, you kind of have just enough wherewithal to kind of glance. You hear the movement behind and look over your shoulder, and just you're able to kind of lean out of the way as Elliot's Eldritch Blast goes wide. Elliot, what else for you, man?
I just draw the dagger and just kind of hold it in front of me just in case somebody tries to run up on me. And
You guys can see his shadow on the ground, just stabbing like the dagger forward into the nothingness.
Hey, watch where you're aiming that bloody thing.
That is going to bring up our second Bodoc. He is going to now cast a different spell. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Bojack.
Constitution saving throw. 13.
13 is the DC. You will take half.
I'm getting so lucky.
You have no idea. 13 psychic. 3d10
That one-
half.
That stings, boys.
And then he's gonna fist at you. That only is a 9 to hit, though, so I'm sure that misses. Oh wait, you have disadvantage.
Yes, that's true. Reckless attack.
That
to
one
be
will be
honest-
a 15 to hit.
Still misses.
15 still misses. Good for Bojack. That is going to bring up the Banshee. Timber re-hid. He still
DM.
sees this. Yes.
I have a reaction I've been planning.
Oh, what you got?
Because of my rage, I can use branches of the tree. You started within 30 feet of me. Make a DC 15 strength saving throw or teleport right next to me with a speed of 0.
Fucking what?
Whoa.
Okay. So you're trying to die, her?
No one gets past
save.
Bojack.
That's a 10 on the strength
Alright.
save. This creature seems kind of weak in that department.
So, yep, he teleported to an unoccupied space I can see within 5 feet. I was thinking right here.
Okay.
And after it teleports, I can reduce its speed to 0 till the end of its turn.
I don't think it needs to go anywhere. It is going to take a multi-attack against you, starting with his scythe, her scythe. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right.
You found the golden number.
Okay, that's the DC. Fucking armor class here. All right, so we're going to start by you're taking 9, 10, 11, 12 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
And your hit point maximum is now reduced by 6. And he is going to, is going to take a deep breath and exhale an icy wind in your direction on the second attack. That's cocked. That is a 2. So 9 to hit.
It misses.
All right. As you see
Did you use your advantage?
No. 24.
Okay.
Is this a spell?
This is a ranged spell attack, yes.
Like counter spell?
Okay. What's the what level? Oh, you can only do fourth level, correct? Okay, yeah, it's counterspelled. As you see him trying to, it just like Elliot reaches out his hand, and this almost invisible magical energy snatches the icy wind and kind of shoves it back down, and it's now just kind of slowly coming out of the slit in the throat that was cut by Brother Nyx instead of in this gust of wind. That is going to end the Banshee's turn. Shetic, you are up.
All right. I'm debating a couple things, but I think what I'm gonna do, well, what I know I'm gonna do,
He knows it.
I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at Bojack number 2 here
Okay.
as a second level spell, and that's gonna be a 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
Son of a gun.
Bojack, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Uh-oh.
I got an 11.
Beats the DC.
Thank God.
As the witch bolt goes wide to the left.
Shit, dude. Fucking casters.
That's the caster.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm gonna do. But as a just kind of, I'm gonna prepare my next turn. I have a silver dagger that's kind of strapped to the inside of my robe, and I'm gonna grab it and just start. I'm just gonna hold it in my hand and be ready for my next turn.
You guys watch Shetic withdraw this menacing-looking silver dagger from his robes. Timber.
All right, round 2.
Bojack, you're on
Sneak
deck.
attack. Sneak attack. Shoot in the banshee with my bow.
It's, longbow, right?
Yeah, and that's a 23 to hit.
A 23 hits.
Okay, so first is going to be 9 damage, and then with the sneak attack, it's going to add 3, and then I'm going to use also the Colossus Slayer feat since it's taken damage, which is plus 3 more, and then the Hunter's Mark, which is force damage for 5.
Let me get a
And-
total on that.
That is 20 so far. But then I'm also going to do Wails from the Grave, which hits an enemy 5 feet from it.
And you can do that at the same time, in the same turn as Colossus Slayer as well?
Yes. I believe so. It doesn't say I can't. Is that allowed? DM?
Let's see. What does it read? Will you read it to me exactly what it says?
Yeah. As you nudge someone closer to the grave, you can channel the power of death to harm someone else as well. Immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature that you can see within 30 feet of the first creature. Roll half the number of sneak attack dice for your level, and the second creature takes necrotic damage equal to the roll's total.
Okay, sounds good. So we're doing 20 to the main one, and then which of the other 2 are you trying to hit with your extra damage?
Probably the one that's hurt, that guy right there.
Okay.
And that is a solid 1 damage.
1, got it.
Narcotic. And then I use my bonus action to dip out again.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Oh, I guess I have one more attack that I have advantage on since I have the whatever it is called. Hold on. Oh, steady aim. So I shoot her one more time with my longbow, which is going to be a 15.
Will you read steady aim to me too? Sorry.
Yeah. Let me find it real quick.
I think steady aim is just for your
Yeah, I think it
normal-
just gives you advantage on your next attack roll. Like, it doesn't give you an extra attack roll.
No, I have an extra attack because of my level 5 ranger.
Oh, so you have 2 attacks per action.
I do.
Savage.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha. So yeah, that's not from steady aim, but yeah.
Yeah. So that was a 15 to hit.
And that was on her again.
Yes.
15 hits.
Okay. And that's just going to be 9 more damage to her.
9 damage is enough, but as the final arrow lands itself in the rib cage of this banshee, you hear her, similar to the scream you heard that started this encounter, wail. And I need everyone besides Elliot Crowe to make a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go.
Let's go. I got a 20.
I got 13.
I got a 5.
With a 5, you hear this banshee's dying wail, and the shock and piercing magical scream that hits your ears drops you to the floor. You are now unconscious with 0 hit points.
So I'm gonna take a reaction to that, and I'm gonna do cast Oro's Mark of Fate as
Okay.
a 3rd level. And since I failed that saving throw,
So you can cast as a reaction?
I can, yes. So I'm gonna cast Oro's Mark of Fate, and now he needs to take that saving throw for me, and if he fails, he suffers the effects instead of me. If he succeeds, neither of us have any issue, and he has disadvantage on his saving throw.
All right. Yeah. What is that exactly?
It's Oro's Mark of Fate. It's a 3rd level necromancy spell.
And what are you using to cast it as a reaction?
It's a small iron shield that, if you look, it's on my belt buckle. And as I hear this piercing scream, I kind of drop my hand, reach down, and just grabbed it. And I didn't yell, but I say to myself, "Protect."
So I'm asking more so like above table. Like, what is the ability that you're using to cast the spell as a reaction?
Itself. The spell itself is a reaction.
Yeah, the spell is a reaction. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. All right, so he needs to make the con save.
That's so dope.
He succeeds. And you say, what happens when he succeeds?
Oh,
you said he had disadvantage on it.
Yeah, he has disadvantage.
Natural 1.
So he suffers the effects, and I suffer any effects of a successful saving throw. So if there's anything I would have gotten as a success.
Let's see. Yeah, there is, I believe. Yeah, you're gonna take 10 psychic damage.
Okay, heard.
That was clutch. As the Banshee's wail ends up hurting her own goals. Shetic, you're up.
And I'm sorry, he's dead.
They are the Banshee and the Bojack 1 are dead.
So
wait,
that also means that
got 10.
What was that?
Sorry, DM. For
Yes.
the rest of us that passed that saving throw, were we supposed to take any damage or not?
Oh yeah, you guys all take that. Everybody that passed, besides Elliot, still takes the 10 psychic. My bad. Good call.
And I am going to heal for 9 points of health because I killed him with a 3rd level necromancy spell. So with Grim Harvest,
cool.
Yeah, with Grim Harvest, I get to heal for 3 times the spell's level.
Disgusting. You're up though, so you can proceed with the rest of your turn.
So let's see. Am I still allowed to use a spell here? Can I use a slot? DM?
Yeah, you didn't use it on your turn, so your action, reaction, spell slot, that comes back.
Okay. Then what I am now going to do is I'm going to take a couple steps to the north here, just 10 feet north. I'm just trying to get a clear line of sight on this guy. And I want to try casting another Witch Bolt as a 2nd level.
Roll to hit.
Roll that hit.
A 22.
22 hits.
That is going to be 23 points of lightning damage.
Holy crap.
All right.
And... Okay, yep, that's it for my turn.
And then with Witch Bolt, you get some advantage against, right? Like you're like connected to him or something.
On every subsequent turn after this, since I hit, I can use a bonus action to deal an additional D12 lightning damage. And he automatically takes it.
Yeah, you guys see this Witch Bolt come out of Shetic's arm, and as it hits this creature, you see it it doesn't dissipate. It just kind of draws back, and it like hovers almost like a whip is just like waiting to strike again in that area. What else for you?
That is going to be my turn.
Timber.
It's my turn? I went before him.
Okay, Bojack. I'm tripping.
All right. Well, there's only one left, and the glory's gonna be mine. I'm just gonna keep swinging. No reckless this time. I ain't got the health for it. 23 to hit.
That'll do it.
$17 damage.
Sheesh.
And if he's still up, I'll go for the next one.
He's still up, looking rough.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
An enchanting. Hold on, I want to double check if I. Yep, and then that'll be my turn.
Alrighty.
With everyone else dead, I don't have much else to swing on.
Elliot, you're up.
I'm blasting him. 23.
23 hits.
All right, cool. I'm gonna use my agonizing blast to add. It lets me add my charisma modifier to damage to Eldritch Blast specifically.
Okay.
So that's going to be damage is going to be 6. So that's 10 Eldritch Blast damage.
10. Looking real rough.
That's it.
All right, that is going to bring them up. However, they are not going to move. They are going to swing on you, Bojack, with a multi-attack. That's cocked. That's a 3. The first one misses.
Misses.
Second one is a 21 to hit.
All
with the
right,
fist.
that'll hit.
That'll be 9 points of bludgeoning damage, half to 4. And then
I'm at 1 HP.
Oh my gosh.
not for long. You are going to take an additional 13 necrotic damage. As you fall unconscious, the body of Bojack standing at the feet of this hooded, disgusting, vile creature. Anything else for him? Nope. That person's dead. Timber. It is actually your turn.
It is actually my turn. I'm going to sneak attack that guy. And that is going to be a 25 to hit.
How do you want to do this?
Let's go.
Oh, man. So I take my bow, and because it's so much longer than me, like, I use one hand to pull it back, and then I put my foot up to push it to give it the most force, and I let it go, hitting it right square in the eye.
As you guys, and it's almost like a slow-mo moment as you hear this whistling arrow fly through the air. You guys look back. This cat has got this bowstring pulled back. He's got like both his feet up on the tree, pulling this thing back. He's got it like held into the fucking stump. And yeah, like ballista style, shoots this arrow, and you hear the sickening sound of the steel-tipped arrow sink into this final enemy's skull. So he drops to the ground.
Wait.
And that will bring this combat to an end.
And actually, were they undead?
Yes.
Okay, then I actually didn't get that Grim Harvest, so I'm taking those 9 points back for myself.
Understood. So you guys find yourselves in a much warmer space all of a sudden. And the withering, decaying bodies that were these undead creatures lying at your feet. Your brother and guide also amongst the dead. And somewhere a mile to the southeast, a tunnel into High Moon. That's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. And we will see y'all in about 5 to 7 minutes.
Break time.
Well,
All right, welcome back. So you guys are here in this much warmer forest clearing now. The uncannily cold evening seems to have dissipated for some reason. However, the bloody body of Brother Nyx and the bloodless bodies of these three undead enemies slain at your feet. What would you like to do?
I go straight for his pockets. So I move over to Nyx and start checking to see if there's anything of value.
Make an investigation check.
It's gonna be a 16.
With a 16, you go through his pockets. You do find a coin purse. It looks like it has about 15 gold pieces in it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You find I would say 5 steel daggers on his person. On the vial, the belt of vials that I described that ran across his kind of torso, you find a common healing potion and 3 vials of acid.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, he's wearing leather boots, light leather armor. He's got a cloak on.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I want to walk over here to the fire, and first of all, I kind of want to look up at the sky, and I want to put my hands up, and I want to see if I can deduce what is southeast of us from where we are.
Make a nature or survival check, please.
A 16.
With a 16, I think, this is a fantasy world. People navigate by the stars. They don't have Google Maps. I think that with a 16, you have seen the stars and their positions before, and you have learned over your years of life how to use those to kind of discern, at least in a loose way, what direction is what at the bare minimum. And you find that this clearing is very conveniently exactly on the cardinal direction. So straight up on the path where Bojack is lying prone on the ground, making a death saving throw, is north.
Okay.
Death saving throw, please, Bojack.
9.
That is a failure.
I'll use my cantrip
6,
spare the dying.
5.
Yeah, so he doesn't come back to life, but it stabilizes him.
All right. So you are sleeping with 1 hit point.
I'm gonna pull an incense out of my bag, and I'm gonna light it using what's remaining of this fire. I know there's not much. People have peed on it. It's been through a fight.
Make a survival check. See if you can find an ember.
You can find the
9.
not pee part.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. It's pretty not dry, pretty out.
Pretty wet.
All right. Then I want to use my tinderbox, and I just want to get a little spark going, get a little tiny fire going. Yeah. And I want to light an incense, and I'm gonna come place it next to Nyx, and I am going to cast Speak with Dead.
Oh, Nyx. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Want to make Bojack into an undead servant?
Very weakly. I'm alive. Just
Actually-
unconscious.
Actually, the best I can do is a CR 1/4 zombie.
He's mostly dead.
Yeah. But I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead next to Nyx.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is you're gonna see me place the incense, and I'm gonna kneel down next to him, and you're gonna see me lean down to his ear, and no one else hears it, but I whisper into his ear, "Speak, brother. Your time here has not been completed."
I believe that you get 5 questions.
I do. So I want to ask him. I say, what what are we looking for? You say there's a tunnel. Is there cover? Is there specific markings we should be looking for to find it?
You see, as you cast Speak with Dead, his chest cavity swells as if a magical pumped his chest cavity full of air. And as you ask the first question, just a fifth of that air escapes as he answers, and he says, "Seek the Black Hand."
Okay.
Do we notice at this point now that the corpse is talking?
I would say, yeah. I mean, everybody's kind of right here, so unless you are averting your eyes from what's happening, I think you would probably notice what's going on.
Okay.
I'm still like elbow deep in his pocket. He's like talking now. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
"Whoa."
cool.
Like I say, am I awake? Just not dying.
You are not asleep. You are like unconscious, but
I
you're
just wanna-
stabilized.
Once in the city, have you arranged lodging for us? Where should we go?
No.
Nice.
I'm going to look up at the group and I'm going to say, I have 3 more questions. I'm thinking of asking if he knows of any personnel inside the city, whether they're official or not. Does anybody else have something they'd like to ask?
Ask of the dangers in this forest.
That's a good question. I look back down. Nyx, you did not mention wraiths and bodaks. What other dangers might we expect on our trek to the tunnel?
I don't know.
We're supposed to be waiting on Damien Grimbane. Maybe ask him if he knows him, where he's at.
Do you know where we might be able to find Damien Grimbane?
I was told he had his own way.
Ask your last question, wizard.
Fuck yeah.
Dude. Oh my god, hold on. Oh. Do you have any hidden treasure somewhere? I could always use money.
You just hear Elliot let out a raspy sigh.
I mean, it's kind of rude not to ask the 5th question.
I have nothing more to offer. And the last word just kind of trails off as he loses all of the breath that was provided to him.
So, and I turn around and I say, so if anyone didn't hear the answers, to find the tunnel, we need to seek the Black Hand, the symbol of the Black Hand. He's prepared no lodging or accommodations for us. He has no clue what's on our way to the tunnel. Damien Grimbane has his own way in the city, and he died a broke bitch.
You would know 15 gold pieces is far from broke.
He's broke now.
He says to God.
Well, he's broke now.
So, and I look and I say, so I know we need to go southeast about a mile, and we're looking for the symbol of our brotherhood. And I look at Timber and say, Timber, are you done running everyone's pockets here?
Yeah, these undead people, they don't have pockets. So I'm good. Ready to go.
the bane of my existence. My servants would be so much better if they had pockets. Tell me about it. So the last thing I want to do is, I have some empty vials. I just want to take my silver dagger, and I want to go on Nyx's throat, and I just want to slit his throat and fill one of my vials with his blood.
I think that's easy enough without a medicine check. He's freshly dead. The blood is still definitely abundant.
Fill it with blood, pop a cork in it, and stow it away in my bag.
You definitely may add the blood of Brother Nyx to your inventory.
Now,
Gosh.
I mean, we got to get spell components. I'd also like to take a slice of his flesh, please.
And so you do.
Which part?
Yeah, which part?
Just his arm. Just
Ah.
Timber's just watching this and like, okay, I'm gonna head down there.
I bet. And then I also want to walk over to these guys. What are these like composed of? Are there bones sticking out anywhere on these guys?
They have a bone structure, yeah. I mean, they're not like sticking out, but
Well, I'm gonna go back to Nyx because he's less gross. And where I took a slice of his arm, I want to take my knife, and I think this is gonna require a medicine check, but I want to try to cut open his arm and rip out a bone.
okay, make a medicine check, and this will be to see how quickly, if you know where to make the cuts that like allow you to, get the bone out with expertise.
A 14.
With 14, you're not a surgeon by any means, but with a pretty impressive pace, you are able to remove the bone that would connect the shoulder to the elbow.
And gentlemen, that is how you get 3 spell components without spending a single dime.
While he's been doing this, could I have taken a minute to do magical cunning just to regain a spell slot?
Absolutely.
It would kind of look like I just put my hands down onto the ground and meet my shadow's hands, and then you just kind of see this like purple energy, like almost kind of like static, come from like in between the shadow and like into my hands, and I just regain a spell slot. Let's go.
That's sick. I walk over to Bojack's body, and I'm like, well, if he's not gonna make it out, I wonder what's in his pockets.
I look back and I say, he's not dead yet.
I smack him across the face and say, he looks pretty dead to me.
As you smack him across the face, Bojack, you awaken to a sharp pain on your cheek and a very weak feeling in your body.
Ugh, I don't feel good. Leave me alone.
Little one, give him the potion.
My common healing potion?
Just look at you.
Okay, fine. I don't want anyone taking a part of my flesh, so yeah, here.
And I will too.
Shetic and Jake, you guys both can grab inspiration. Shetic and Timber, I should say.
All right,
Shetic
well,
and Junior.
if you be offering this to me, I'll take it, and Bojack will always return a favor.
I guess that's a pretty grim way to see what I do. Like, I just eviscerated our ally.
Can I take a second to look over Nyx and just like take a moment to like kind of study Brother Nyx's face and like see if it like makes me recall anything, or just kind of like looking for something that I don't know I'm looking for, essentially?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Are we doing like a rest right now? Should I be like on watch?
No, I don't think anybody said we're resting, right?
Natural
he-
20 for a 24.
Nice.
If you guys would like to take a short rest, you may certainly try.
I mean, if you
I feel
guys
like-
would like, I can always put us back in my little hut there. But
Well,
feel
I
like
drank
Bojack-
his potion, so I feel like we should go so I don't waste it.
I think that's probably smart.
Okay.
It's a mile. We can get there quickly.
Okay.
I'm awake enough for a march. Let's go.
And
So, yeah, go ahead.
and Elliot, I'm sorry. I did think we interrupted you. What were you investigating?
I was just looking at his face to see if it gave me any like recollection of memories or made me, recall anything in particular.
Right. As you stared down at the body of Brother Nix, this is something that Elliot does, right? Like, you are looking for something. You are looking for an answer to a question. And you never know where those things could manifest. As you look down this now surgically altered body, nothing triggers any kind of recollection or memory, but the sight of the bone coming out of the body definitely didn't trigger a vision. It didn't trigger a memory, but your connection to bones.
Just kind of look down, look over at my shadow, give a slight nod, and turn towards the path in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
I'm ready.
Start walking.
All right. As we move away from this clearing, the fire extinguished, the undead left all the way dead.
We're dead.
Everyone make a... Who's leading the charge through the forest here? What is our marching order, please?
Not me first.
I started walking first. If anybody hurried and hustled in front of me,
Oh.
that's one thing. But I guess I'm first.
I'll be a second, but yeah, I'm not leading.
I'm staying close to the back, but off to the side in case I need to duck out really quick.
I feel like my wounded little legs, even though I move fast, I'm taking it slow. I'd be
So-
last.
Pulling up the rear. Perfect. Elliot, please make a nature survival... actually, survival check.
Alright. 9.
With a 9, I spoke on this a little bit before. This forest it's an easy place to get lost. You guys have been kind of following Elliot's lead here for a few minutes, and with a 9, those of you that are in the rear and behind him are kind of starting to notice, like, are we still moving south east? This all kind of looks the same.
Can I help him since I took the time to kind of figure out our direction with the stars while we were back at the camp? Maybe I'm behind him and me and him are kind of talking and navigating.
Yeah, I'll allow you to make a separate check. His check is done now, but you can absolutely make a survival check to try and say, hey, I don't know if...
Could I convince you to make it a nature since I'm using the stars?
Yes, because you're using the stars, you can do a nature check.
A dirty 20.
With a 20, you guys have been walking for 10 to 15 minutes. You think I think we've veered off a little, just straight west. We need to cut back south a little bit. And as you do, another couple minutes passes, and you think that you've come about 1.5 miles.
Okay.
Can I look around for any cave
Elliot,
or
we should be
something?
getting there. I look back and we're looking for the mark of the hand, the black hand.
Everybody make a anybody that's looking, make a perception check.
Cool. 17.
17.
19.
Overachiever.
Shetic, what did you have?
15.
15, 17, 17, 19. All pretty damn good. You guys spend... You get to the point where you're, okay, we know we're looking at the stars. We've corrected to our kind of like westwardly direction. And now, we've walked before. We've been about 1.5 miles. And you start to look around as a team. You guys kind of all begin to look at the stones and the trees. And one thing stands out. You haven't seen any cleared lumber trees. You have not seen any kind of stumps up to this point that were anything other than natural nature, occurring, trees falling, etc. What you do notice in this space now, just around the bend, you can almost barely see it. It's like hiding behind a couple of tree trunks, but there is a tree stump, and it is smooth across the top.
I definitely want to investigate that and see if I see any markings on it.
Yeah, I'd say Elliot would lumber over.
You guys can both make an investigation check, or one of you can make it with advantage.
Well, I got an 11 on my first investigation check, so either you can make one or I can roll again.
Yeah, roll again. I'm just helping you
Roll
out.
again? Okay. God damn, a 10. So an 11.
With an 11, yeah, you... What did I say? Let me see.
I'm going to Oro's Mark of Fate, and I'm just kidding.
An 11, you get the sense that this is definitely standing out to you, but when you take a closer look, you're not seeing anything besides just a sheared tree.
Can I go look at it since I'm a ranger? I probably know a thing or two.
Make an investigation check.
This guy knows trees. For real, though.
I got a 14.
A 14 equaled the raised DC because this was the second try. As you kneel down and look at this tree stump, it's not a marking. It's not ink. It's not paint. It is a etching, ever so vaguely, of a hand in the bark of the tree. So this is dark wood, and you see a black hand. And as you look just a little further, you can see there's about an inch from where the flat part of the top of the tree stump, if you go down, there's just the ever faintest hair-thin line that you can see. And it looks like the top of this tree trunk is not connected to the rest of this tree trunk.
Mm.
Huh?
What?
Well, it looks like this might be our tunnel if someone wants to open it, but it's not going to be me.
I'll give her a go.
Open it? What's there to open? It's just a tree trunk, and I kick it.
How hard do you kick it?
I mean, not hard enough to, like, break my toe, but hard enough to be like, what do you mean open a tree trunk? I don't know.
Like it's gonna kick over into a door.
I was just going to see if we needed to do bludgeoning damage on your toe.
No, I don't. I think Shetic would like to. He's smart enough to know you don't kick a tree trunk full force.
Right. Yeah, that looks like the top is... There's a thin line in between.
I'll try to yank the top off.
Make a strength check.
Yeah,
No
there it
tree stands in Bojack's way. I got a
Really?
20. Dirty 20.
A 20 will do it.
is. Bojack tree buncher.
The tree trunk itself, it's just bigger around than like your dwarven wingspan. So you can't like grasp it. So you kind of just like You dig your fingers into like that little inch of space, and you just barely get it off the edge enough to get a better grip, and then you are able to slide this massive cross section of this tree, this inch wide top of a tree stump away, revealing a ladder leading below.
There had to have been an easier trick for that, but thank goodness I can just yank what I need.
It's good to know we have someone for all our tree removal needs.
I stand up and do like a little flexing pose.
Before we do anything, I look back and I say, remember, does everyone have their pin? And I touch my Ward Weaver patch and I kind of clip it onto my robe.
I sure do. It's right here on my loincloth.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it somewhere in my pack somewhere.
I'm gonna clip mine into like the inside of my cloak, so it's not like particularly visible out.
Above the table, this does say that it requires attunement.
We've been walking for an hour.
Yeah, like do we know that, or are we attuned to it by now? Was it magically attuned to us when they made it for us?
You are the only person who can attune to this item. I would say you've had them in your possession for over an hour at this point. So you are all attuned.
Cool.
Sweet. I jump in the tunnel.
Oof.
This is just like the sewers back in my city. I'm gonna go in. Hop right down. Sneaky. I land very softly, cat agility.
We'll see.
I want to watch and make sure he lands softly.
Make a athletics. Acrobatics check.
That's gonna be a 13.
It was only about 15 feet down, and I think with a 13, you're a cat, man.
Yeah,
Easy.
easy.
Did we hear anything when he hit the ground, or was it like a splash? Was it like a nothing at all?
As Timber, you land at the base of this ladder that went up into this tree trunk. You find yourself in a dirt tunnel. It is incredibly narrow. You can see like roots and like the tips of like stones that exist in the dirt that are outside the tunnel, kind of poking through the edges. And it is extremely dark. Luckily, you can all see, but very dark, narrow dirt tunnel lies before you.
So would I see if Elliot can fit through this tunnel? Because they're concerned that he might not fit. He's pretty big, right?
You get the sense that it may be tight, but you think it's just wide enough, just high enough.
Okay. Well, then I call out and I say, hope you undead like the grave, because it's going to be a little tight down here.
I'll start to climb down the ladder.
Yep, I'm gonna follow behind.
I follow.
As you guys make your way down this ladder and begin to inch your way through this narrow tunnel, at times having to turn sideways, duck down, climb over like large boulders that are coming out of the floor that almost block the path. You spend about 20 minutes doing this, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and eventually you come to a place where the dirt begins to widen, the tunnel begins to become larger, and abruptly becomes stone. Not natural stone, but worked stone, masonry. And as each one of you cross on the dirt, from the dirt to the stone, it becomes the floor, the ceilings, and the walls. You hear a slight and any of you can look will see that your Ward Weaver patch has just hummed as you pass from the dirt to the stone. And you can assume that that means you are now in the city of High Moon. You walk down this stone corridor for another 10 to 15 minutes, and you come to a wall, a dead end, made of the same stone that the floor, walls, and ceiling that you have been walking across for the past 20 minutes are made of. And
Does
you
it look
see
lived in down here at all, or is it like occupied? Like, does it look completely vacant and still like underground passage, or?
make a investigation check.
It's dark though, right? It's still pretty dark.
Very
Okay.
pitch black for those of you
Dirty
people
20.
that if you didn't have dark vision. One thing that you can see, it doesn't look lived in per se, but with a dirty 20, you do see one set of footprints that look like they're coming from the dead end wall back towards the way that you came. And also, I'll give you with that investigation check, you can see a clear, not so subtle as the one on the tree, a clear, look like somebody dipped their hand in black paint and stuck it on the wall.
Oh, I look down at my shadow and say, I would likely assume these are the prints of our brother Nyx. And then I'll look over at Timber, just look him in the eyes, and then say like, I'll still be here. And then I'll cast invisibility on myself since we're in dim light. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just invisible, hanging out.
If this is it, I suggest we get our story straight for why we're here and who we are. I would personally like to go get boarding and get some rest after fighting a banshee. It's a little tiring. Has anybody thought of a reason why we would be here? Because we're new faces, and I look around and I see Timber, and you see Tabaxi, that's fine, and a dwarf, okay. But our newly invisible friend and myself aren't exactly the epitome of beauty.
Well, you could either be like wayward magic buggers, because that's what you are anyway, and we could be like you know, backup, or I don't know, you could be something else. Do they have like an arena here?
I have no idea.
You hear Elliot kind of I'm crouched down and just in a like idle waiting for something to happen position, but I'm like right next to Timber on the other side of where I actually was when I went invisible. Just kind of crouched down to his level. But
Let's go over why we're here in the first place.
Well, we're here to get the tablets of fate and crack their defenses. And first we need to go to the Museum of Antiquity to get the 10,000 gold piece diamond. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And I have this large scroll here.
And then we spread evil and tyranny across the city.
That's right. And so I think our first move is going to the Museum of Antiquity.
Then I think we have a motive to be here. We're scholars. The Museum of Antiquity has artifacts that we are interested in studying up close.
Y'all can be scholars. There ain't no way I'm being one of y'alls.
I don't think you'd fool anyone.
Then fine, I'll be ye bodyguard.
Hired mercenary.
I think that's a fine idea.
If it means I can also crack a few skulls, I'll take it any time of day.
I start like licking my paws and straightening out my fur to look a little less scruffy.
I see him grooming himself, and I want to pull out my my water, and I'm just gonna kind of rinse my hands of where I sliced up our compadre back in the woods.
I'm just gonna snort and hawk up a giant piece of blood clot, and then just go, right, I'm ready.
Gross. I love it.
Are we taking a rest right here down here, or are we gonna like venture forth a little bit and see what's up?
I could sit for an hour.
Is there like a way out of this room? Did I miss that?
You have come to basically a dead end. The wall in front of you has a black handprint on it.
I think with the black handprint, it's probably safe to assume there's some sort of mechanism that we just haven't seen yet. I suggest we stay here, rest up for an hour. We just got done with a big fight, a big hike. Maybe we rest up for an hour, and while we're doing that, we can investigate this dead end.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
You just hear like a
everybody
little
wants to-
thud right next to you as I sit down.
If everybody would like to rest and relax for an hour, please feel free to use hit dice at your leisure.
Oh, am I at? I don't know if I get this on. Short rest.
Hey, I'm back up to feeling more a bit like myself.
For whatever it's worth, after that hour passes, I just apparate right next to you, Timber.
Ah,
Ah,
God's alive, so that's where you went.
And then,
so
while we were resting, I definitely think I was kind of just standing there investigating the wall with the handprint on it, looking for potentially a loose cobblestone, a lever, a button, a switch.
As you intently scan the wall, make an investigation check.
Investigate that wall.
A 12.
With a 12, you're looking around, and the only thing that stands out is that black handprint. You don't see any bricks that look off. You definitely don't see any switches or levers of any kind. It's hard to tell.
I walk up and place it like over the black handprint.
Yeah, and as you do, your hand passes through the wall.
I just kind of look back at everybody and I take a step through.
I guess
All
I'll
right.
follow him.
Yep. Can't be the last one out this time.
They all step through, and I'm standing there alone, and I say, just I mutter to myself, "Fear is our weapon, tyranny is our goal." And I step
Yes.
through.
And as you do, you join your three compatriots in what looks like a sewer tunnel. And not too far from where you're standing, you can see a ladder that looks like it leads up to a grate of some kind. There's no light or anything coming through the grate, but you can hear sounds. You can hear the sound of the very last patrons at some sort of group gathering going on above you.
And that's the only exit point that we see.
The tunnels continue pretty far, both to you're where you pass through. You were kind of at a dead end, but there's a tunnel that goes straight ahead of you into, and it like looks like it curves down maybe 200, 300 feet down, and then kind of a similar tunnel to your left. So there's something straight ahead and something to your left. Just to the left, like maybe 20 feet down from where you're standing, is where the ladder goes up.
Okay, can I sneak down to the left, climb up the ladder just to the grate, just so I can hear or perceive what is going on up there? What are we under exactly?
Make a perception check.
Oh my gosh. That's a 6.
I roll, baby.
Hey.
With a 6, you can't make out what's happening exactly, but what you do hear are, it sounds like two voices loudly conversing with one another. It doesn't sound like an argument, but it just sounds like a loud conversation.
Do they sound like close, like right in the room that the grate is in, or does it sound muffled, kind of far away?
With a 6, you're not sure.
I'm not sure.
So is the grate like it's like bars like with slits in them where you can see up through it?
Yeah. It's instead of just vertical bars though, it's like vertical and horizontal. It's like a kind of a grid or whatever, and like wider, like think like a pirate hold cover kind of vibe.
Well, do we trust this ladder, or do we want to go find another?
I want to kind of do the same thing that Timber did. I want to try to hear what's going on the other side of the grate.
Okay, make a perception check.
Don't worry about it. It's a 1.
Oh boy.
There's a grate here.
I whisper to Shetic and say, "Can't you do that teleport thing like you did in the fight through the grate?"
I could, but I would need to rest before I can use it again. A longer rest than what we've taken.
I'm gonna climb up the ladder and see if I can see through the grate. Anything in particular? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is it like a pretty long ladder that you have to climb up, and then the grate's up there at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I was just joking.
Okay, I was like, wait, hold on.
As you look up through the grate, I mean, you can see the night sky.
Okay, so it looks like to be let out outside.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any people though, particularly in that sight line.
No.
I might be able to sneak out of this place.
Yeah, I'm like, stealth up, boys. This is what we should be best at.
In the city that I was living in, this is where I lived. So I want to try to just push the grate up enough, and I'm gonna sneak on out.
I'm gonna, as he's doing that, I want to telepathically tell him, Timber, if you get out, create a distraction for those voices if there's somewhere where they might see the rest of us.
Okay.
Okay, so first you climb to the top of the ladder. You're trying to lift the grate. Make a strength check for me.
I slide out of the way.
For that, I just hit strength in D&D Beyond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be a dirty one.
A
I also have
modified
a -1 as my modifier.
It was a 2.
The grate does not move a singular millimeter.
You have
Okay.
inspiration, I believe.
Oh, I do have inspiration. I'll use it. I don't know if I should, but I'm gonna.
Roll again.
Oh, it's a 2!
Oh my god.
You thought about everything that's happened. You're like, we just fought a banshee. I got some sick sneak attacks in. I am feeling inspired. And you summoned that strength inside you, and you reached up and you pushed the grate, and it still did not move a single millimeter.
Okay, I jump back down, and I look towards the dwarf, and I say, "All right, Bojack, it's your turn."
Bojack, Tree Puncher, and Timber, Great Tickler.
If Bojack,
I mean, what's it great if it's not just a cut up tree? And I'll go try to Move it.
If Bojack can get the grate off, I can sneak out.
Okay, so you guys are both. I mean, Bojack is pretty wide. So are you gonna climb up there and then slide the grate off? Or are you gonna like try and hold it open while he like climbs in between you to get out? What's the move here?
How tall are ye? I am only like a dwarf. I'm only about 3.5 feet tall.
I'm small, so about 3.5 feet tall.
Ride on my head.
Okay.
I'm a barbarian. I'll carry your ass up there, no splat.
Yeah. All right.
As you and Bojack, you feel like the claws like kind of grabbing into your shoulders as he like kind of clambers onto you. Make a strength check to lift this grate.
18.
With an 18, the grate lifts just enough for Timber to slip through. Make a stealth check.
I get on with you.
Natural 20, 30.
Nice.
Where it counts,
With a
baby.
natural 20, you silently move around the shoulders of Bojack, climb up into this grate, look around as you take the first step into the city of High Moon. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Imagine he like steps on my head.
Good job.
Imagine
Dude,
he like
nice.
steps on my head and you just hear, ow, ow, watch the claws.
Yeah, good game. Good game, everybody.
Yeah, good game. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
wow.
Nah, GG's.
Hunter, thank you.
DM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
That
dude. That's
was
creepy.
the first episode of The Black Hand of Fate. We will be back next Sunday and see what happens here in the first evening in High Moon. Until then, we are Side21. Thank you for watching.
Woo!
And have a wonderful night.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.